Good evening, everyone. This is one more session with respect to actually, it is a system programming, but we are learning the concept of function pointers since we are not yet entered into the system programming. So, we are started with a discussion of function pointer. Before starting with the today's session, if my voice is clear and able to see the screen properly, please type 1 in the chat box. If my voice is clear, able to see the screen properly, please type 1 in the chat box. Thank you very much. In the last lecture, will you agree? We started thinking about one special type of pointer, the pointer which is going to point to a function. Okay. In the last lecture, we started working on one of the concept called one pointer, which is going to point to a function that is called as a function pointer. How to declare a function pointer? The syntax is, if you want to declare a function pointer, the syntax is return type star variable name arguments. Do you agree? Return type star symbol variable name arguments. Can you tell me if I write char star p int comma char? Can you tell me if I write char star p int comma char? Is it a function or is it a function pointer? Is it a function or is it a function pointer? Answer is, it is a function. Answer is, it is a function. If you group this, answer is, it is a pointer to a function. If you group that, answer is, it is a pointer to a function pointer. To which functions this pointer can point? To which functions this pointer can point? It can point to a functions. That function should take integer and character as two arguments, returns a character. It can point to those functions. That function should take integer and character as two arguments and returns a character. If any such functions are there, will you agree? You can make this pointer to point to those functions, and you can call the function indirectly through this pointer. If I accept this statement, type 1 in the chat box. If I accept this statement, type 1 in the chat box. Yesterday, we are trying to understand few examples with respect to this. If you see yesterday's first example, can I say P is a function pointer? And one more important point yesterday I'm trying to tell you how an array name represents a base address. How an array name represents a base address. In a similarly, function name represents the base address. Will you agree? How an array name represents a base address. In a similar way, the function name represents a base address. In line number 10, will you agree? We are storing the sub-function address into the P. In line number 10, Will you agree? We are storing the sub function address into the P. In line number 12, we are calling the function through pointer. Can you tell me here which function is called? Because the pointer is pointing to sub, can I say sub function is called? If pointer might have pointing to mul, can I say mul function might have called? Again, if pointer might have calling to mul function might have called. Can I say this is the indirect way of calling the function? This is the direct way of calling the function. Line number 12 is the indirect way of calling the function, and line number 15 is the direct way of calling the function. After this example discussion, we are trying to understand one concept called callback function. To which functions we need to call as a callback functions? The functions which is taking one argument as another function address. Okay, to which functions we need to call as a callback functions means the functions which are taking one argument as another function address. Such functions we need to call as callback functions. This example we are trying to understand. Yes or no? Type yes or no. Now here we are calling the callback function. We are passing three informations. I is an integer, that is the reason we are catching with integer. J is an integer, that is the reason we are catching with an integer. Sum is the name of the function, that is the reason we are catching with. Sum is the name of the function, that is the reason we are catching with pointer. After the discussion of this, we started thinking about how to return a function from another function. Will you agree? After this, how to return a function from another function. Return type is a function pointer. Observe the specification here. We need to design a function which returns some function address. We need to design a function which returns some function address. So for that, the declaration is a little bit complex. Will you agree? For that, the declaration is little bit complex. Will you agree with this point? For that, the declaration is little bit complex. Will you agree with this? Now here, line number 7. Will you agree? Line number 7. ABC is a pointer or is a function? Can you tell me? ABC is a pointer or a function. Can I say ABC is a function? Why? Because this is the higher priority. ABC is a function which takes nothing, returns a pointer to what? Returns a pointer to what? To a function. That function takes two integers as an argument, returns an integer. Here the declaration is little bit complex, right? Here the declaration is little bit complex. I told you today with the help of typedef we are going to simplify that. Today we are with the help of typedef we are going to simplify that. Yes, sir. I hope that's what in a previous lecture. This is the up to this we discussed it. Can you tell me if I write like this? Can you tell me what is this? Can I write Q is a function? Okay, to try to understand this. Q is a function. Will you agree? With this, there are so many examples we'll discuss. Don't worry right now. Q is a function which takes integer and character as arguments. Means if anybody is calling this function, they need to pass these two, integer and character, as an argument. Will you agree? If anybody is calling this function Q, they need to pass integer and character as an argument. Again, if anybody is calling this function, they need to pass integer and character as an argument. And returns, what this function returns? A pointer to a function, and returns a pointer to a function. Which function? That function will take integer as an argument and returns character pointer. That function, it will return one address of a function. That function will take integer as an argument, returns a character pointer. All of you are understanding this point? Q is a function which takes integer and character as an argument and returns a pointer to a function, and returns a pointer to a function, and returns a pointer to a function. That function should take integer and returns a character pointer. My question is, Q is returning a character pointer, yes or no? My question is, Q is returning a character pointer, yes or no? My question is, Q is returning a character pointer, yes or no? Answer is no. Answer is no. What Q is returning then? What Q is returning then? Can I say it is returning a function address? What Q is returning? Will you agree? It will return address of a function. That function is returning a character pointer. Will you agree? Q is returning one address of a function. That function is returning a character pointer. Q is not returning a character pointer. Q is returning the function pointer, address of one function. That function is returning a character pointer. Will you agree? That function is returning the character pointer. If you accept this statement, if you understood this statement, type 2 in the chat box. Understood this statement, type 2 in the chat box. T3, do you want to ask something? Again, S15, can you raise your hand so that I'll enable your voice? S15, can you raise your hand so that I'll enable your voice? Yeah. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So try to understand this. How to understand this statement is little bit complex statement. First, you need to decide Q is a function or Q is a pointer. Can you tell me which is the higher priority here?
Bracket.
Yeah, function symbol. This is.
Yes.
This is the higher priority. So can I say Q is a function?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If it is a function, it should take something, some
Yes,
arguments. So here Q is a function which is taking integer and character as an arguments. Up to this, is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. It is taking integer and character. Means if anybody is calling this function, they need to pass if
Integer
anybody is
and
character. Correct.
yes.
Perfect. What it is returning? It is returning what?
Pointer.
Pointer. Pointer to what? Which pointer?
Character pointer.
It is not returning a character pointer. It is returning a pointer to a function. Means it is returning one function address. Function pointer. It is returning a function pointer.
Yes, sir.
Means it returns a pointer. Pointer to what? Is it a pointer to character? Pointer to integer? Pointer to what? Pointer to a function. Got the point? Means
Yes,
it is
sir.
returning. What is the Q is returning?
Q is returning a pointer to the function.
Function. Which function address it is returning? Which function address it is returning? It is returning a function. That function takes
Integer as an argument.
returns.
Character pointer.
Got the point?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So Q is not returning a character pointer. Q is not returning the character pointer. Q is returning one function address. That function is returning the character pointer. Q is returning one function address. That function is returning the character pointer. Q is returning function pointer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear now.
Okay. Okay, then I'll mute my.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
N3 is asking one question. BE9 N3 and BE9 N3. Can you raise your hand? BE9 N3. Can you raise your hand? Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, N3.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Can you ask the question? No? What type of pointer it will return? Who will return?
That a Q, sir.
Q is returning a pointer to a function. Means it is returning the function address. Again, Q is returning a pointer to what? Pointer to character, pointer to integer, or pointer to function?
Pointer to function.
Yes. Means it is returning one address of one function. Now tell me, if I write int star ABC, can I say ABC is returning integer pointer?
Yes, sir.
We'll accept this. If I write char star MNO, can I say MNO is returning the character pointer?
Yes, sir.
Now can you tell me, here ABC and MNO is the variables or functions?
Function.
Yes. Here PQ is what? Variable or a function?
Variable.
No, it is a function. Don't confuse with if I write Q, it becomes a variable only.
Okay, sir.
Q is a function because it is a higher priority, right?
Okay.
Q is not a variable. Q is not a character variable. Q is not a pointer variable. Q is a function which is taking. Q is a function which is taking.
Two arguments.
What are those two arguments?
Integer and character.
Okay. What it is returning?
It is returning the address of a function.
Which function address it is returning? That function is taking
Integer.
and returning character pointer.
Character. Okay, sir.
Okay. M5 is asking one question. BE9 M5. BE9 M5. Can you raise your hand? BE9 M5. Can you raise your hand? BE9 M5. Can you raise your hand? Again, I'm requesting to BE9M5. Please raise your hand. Yeah. BE9M5. Yeah. Tell me.
Hello,
BE9M5. Yeah.
am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, my doubt was, so here we are not mentioning the name of function which address Q is returning.
We are not mentioned. This is only the declaration, right?
This is only, so name of function is not required.
Here, then what is the name of the function? It is not required. It is returning one function address. That function is taking
So
integer.
we need to mention just parameters and return types of the
One
function.
thing I need to ask you, whenever you are designing any return type, will you mention the name of that thing? Now tell me, here, when you are returning something, will you mention the name of the variable?
No,
When you are taking an arguments?
not necessary when declaration is there.
No. I'm talking about if this is the definition. So when you are catching with, you will put a variable name.
Yes,
But when you are returning it, you will not mention the variable name.
yes,
Here also the same. Here, which function it is returning, that is not the matter. It is returning one function address. That function is taking. Can you tell me? It is returning one function address. That function is taking
integer as an argument,
and returning.
character pointer.
Yes. Yes. Got the point?
Got the point.
So when any function, when you are returning something, return in a declaration in a return type, you will not mention the name.
Yes,
Okay. I hope it is clear.
yes, sir.
Okay. Next, I'm not addressed any questions. Yeah, am I not addressed any questions? Just raise your hand so that I'll enable your voice so that you can speak. So that you can speak. Let's take one more example. Observe int star MNO int char BE8D4. Can you raise your hand? BE8D4. Can you raise your hand? BE8D4. Yes. Hello? BE8D4. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in that integer also will act as the function, sir.
Here it is returning, this Q is returning one function. That function is taking int as an argument, returns a character pointer. Getting the point? If you want, I'll show you one example.
Okay.
Just a minute, I'll show you one example here. Suppose, can you tell me if I write char star MNO or ABC int, can you explain this?
Sir, okay, sir. Sir, in this ABC is a one function.
Okay.
It will take the integer as the arguments and returning the character pointer, sir.
Returning a character pointer. Absolutely correct. So observe here, char star Q int I char ch int return ABC. Now observe. Now can you tell me Q is what? Now
Q is
first can you tell me, is it a function definition or declaration or call?
function definitions.
Definition, absolutely correct. Definition. So now tell me Q is a
Function
okay, which is taking
which is the integer I is the integer I and character ch is the variable
okay,
and
which is returning
pointer to function, sir.
okay, which function pointer it is returning?
Sir, in this integer, sir.
Which takes integer, returns
Character pointer.
can I say ABC property is same, which is taking an integer, returning the character pointer?
Yes, sir.
So it is returning that.
Yes,
Getting the point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is returning this function address.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
This function is taking
Integer as a
argument, returns
character pointer.
yes. Got the point?
Okay, sir.
Can you similarly, can you tell me this? Just a minute. Can you tell me here what is MNO?
Is a function, sir.
MNO is a function which takes
Integer, sir.
Which takes integer and returns
Pointer to function.
okay, pointer to function means, can I say it return one address of a function?
Yes, sir.
It returns address of one function.
Yes, sir.
Which takes
And
that function, whatever the function address it is returning, that function takes
characters, sir.
which takes yes, takes character as argument and returns
integer, sir.
yes. Perfect. Means my question is, MNO is returning an integer or MNO is returning one function address, that function is returning integer?
Yes, sir.
My question, try to understand.
Yes, sir. MNO is a function. It returning the pointer to function. That function is returning the integer, sir.
Correct. Can I say MNO is not returning an integer?
Yes, sir.
MNO is returning one function address.
One function address.
That function is returning an integer.
Yes, sir.
Is MNO is taking character as an argument?
Character.
Yes or no? Is
yes,
MNO is taking character as an argument or integer as an argument?
Integer is argument, sir.
Now can you tell me, if anybody is calling MNO, what they need to pass?
Integer.
What
Integer.
it is returning? Address of one function. So we need to catch with. It is returning one address of one function. We need to catch with
pointers.
Which pointer?
Character pointer.
Function pointer.
Function pointer. Oh.
Now observe how to call this function is int star p char. Can you tell me what is this?
So p is a pointer.
Pointer to a function.
Pointer to function.
Which function it can point?
Sir, I don't understand, sir.
Yesterday's discussion. P is a pointer to function. Which function is this pointer can point?
Character point.
Which function it will point?
Which function? I don't know.
It will point to one function. That function will take character as an argument, returns an integer.
Yes, sir.
Okay? P is a pointer to one function.
One function. Yes, sir.
That function takes character as an argument, returns
integer as a integer.
yes, returns an integer. Now observe, P is equals to MNO 10. Can you tell me this is what? Is it a declaration, definition, or call?
Call, sir.
Call. MNO is a call. So what you are passing?
10 as 10 values, sir.
Integer.
Integer value.
What this is returning? What this MNO is returning? A pointer to one function. That function takes character as an argument, returns an integer. So I am catching with
Integer.
that function pointer.
Okay, sir.
Getting the point? Little bit complicated.
Okay.
Little bit complicated declaration.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else wants to ask any question? Anybody else wants to ask any question? Just raise your hand. I'm going to wait for 2 minutes. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask it. Now, can you tell me if any function is returning integer pointer, we'll declare integer pointer, we'll catch it. If any function is returning integer pointer, we'll catch with an integer pointer. If any function is returning a function pointer, we need to catch with a function pointer. You agree? If any function is returning the integer pointer, we need to catch with integer pointer. R8 is asking one question, sir, we are indirectly taking a return as int for P. P is not returning an integer. P is holding one function address. That function is returning an integer. Again, P is holding one function address. That function is returning an integer. R8, getting the point? P is one pointer which is holding one address of one function. That function is returning an integer. Okay. Now let's understand yesterday's program. Instead of void function pointer, you can catch with a void pointer also. But you need to typecast explicitly if you want to use them. Now RDE9 R3, getting the point. Now observe, ABC is a function which takes, ABC is a function which takes nothing, which returns a pointer to a function, means it is returning one address of one function. Which is returning one address of one function. That function should take two integers, returns an integer. Now tell me, now here ABC is returning what? ABC is returning what? Some function address. I am catching with what? With one pointer. Which pointer? Which pointer this is? Which pointer that is? Function pointer. Which function pointer this is? It can point to a function. That function should take, this P holds one function address. That function should take two integers as an argument, returns an integer. Can I say sum is also such category, which is taking two integers, returns an integer? Which is taking two integers and returns an integer. So now how to simplify this? We need to discuss it today. Let me use a copy command. Using the typed All of you remember, type def is one of the mechanism where we can put an alias name to the existing type. All of you remembered? Type def is one of the mechanism where we can put another name to the existing data type. Now, can you tell me, if I write int star iptr, now tell me iptr is a pointer variable or pointer data type? If I write int star iptr, iptr is a pointer variable or pointer data type? Pointer variable. If I put type def, if I put a type def, can I say iptr becomes a integer pointer data type? Will you agree? iptr becomes integer pointer data type. Similarly, can you tell me, if I write int star fptr, int comma int, can I say it is function pointer variable? Will you agree? It is a function pointer variable. It is a pointer variable. Which pointer? Function pointer. To which function it will point? To which function it will point? It will point to a function that will take two integers as an arguments, returns an integer. But if I put type def here, now tell me, fptr is a function pointer variable or function pointer data type? Now tell me, fptr is a function pointer variable or function pointer data type? Do you agree? It is a function pointer data type. So now this declaration we can simplify like this. This declaration fptr abc void. This declaration we can simplify this. fptr p. This declaration, this definition also we can simplify. fptr, what is the name of the function? abc void. Line number 22 declaration, line number 22 and line number 23 both are same. abc is a function. abc is a function which takes nothing, returns fptr type. What is fptr? Which is a function pointer type. To which function it is a, it will take two integers as an argument, returns an integer. Observe here fptr, okay, spelling mistake. Try to understand again, without writing type def, fptr is a, if you don't write a type def, fptr is a pointer variable, function pointer variable. If you write a type def, fptr becomes function pointer data type. I hope you know the difference between the variable and data type. Yes or no? I hope you know the difference between the variable and data type. Yes or no? Please type it. I hope you know the difference between the variable and data type. Without a type def, fptr is a function pointer variable. When you write a type def, fptr becomes a function pointer data type. Now tell me, abc is what? Now tell me, ABC is what? What is ABC? Is a function, correct? What it is taking? What it is taking? Nothing. What it is returning? What it is returning? Pointer to function, FPTR, function pointer. Can I say line number 9 declaration, line number 8 declaration, both are same? One student is asking one question. Type def syntax BE9D3. Type def is having a two syntaxes. One is type def old name, new name. One more syntax is, I don't know you remembered or not. If I write int ARR of 5 type def, can I say ARR becomes a new data type D3 array type? So type def is having a two syntaxes. So this is the second category. Without a type def, what is there? With a type def, what is that? You need to understand. Very simple. Without a type def, what is that? With a type def, what is that? You need to understand. But they are separated by space. One of the students is here. Space is not a matter. D3. Just simply try to understand. Without a type def, what is that? Pointer, function pointer, variable. With a type def, function pointer, data type. Simple. Now let me compile the code and let me show you. If any error is there, compiler should generate any error. Yes, sir. Now observe, no error. Like case study. M2 is asking, sir, type def int star FPTR. This is like that only. M2, your thing is correct. Without a type def, FPTR is a function pointer variable. With a type def, FPTR is a function pointer data type. Now, will you agree? Line number 8, line number 9, both are same. But which one is easy to understand? Will you agree? Line number 8 and line number 9, both are same. Which is easy to understand? Can I say line number 8? Because ABC is a function which takes nothing, returns a function pointer. It returns an address of one function. Can you tell me ABC returns one address of one function? Which function address it will return? ABC returns one address of one function. Can you tell me which function address it will return? It will return one function address. That function takes two integers as an arguments, returns an integer. That takes two integers as an arguments, returns an integer. Getting the point? The advantage of a type def here. Now can you tell me, I is a variable of which type? I is a variable of which type? Integer. J, integer. K, integer. What about the P? What about the P? What about the P? P is a function pointer type. P is a function pointer type. Any doubt is there? Can I say line number 15 declaration, line number 16 declaration, both are same? Line number 15 declaration, line number 16 declaration, both are same. Anybody wants to speak, just raise your hand so that I will enable your voice so that we will move to the next discussion if no doubt. One thing I need to ask you, without a type def, are you able to understand what is FPTR? With type def, are you able to understand what is FPTR? Okay. Without a type def, are you able to understand what is FPTR? With a type def, are you able to understand what is FPTR? Yes or no? Yes or no, let me know. With type def, it is very easy to understand. Yes, I'll show you one prototype. Once we started with the signals, we need to discuss it. Just a minute, it's taking some time. Now observe this declaration. In future, we are going to discuss it. Once we started with the signal handling, interrupt handling in a Linux, we are going to discuss it. Now tell me, without a type def, sig handler underscore t is a function pointer variable. Without a type def, sig handler underscore t is a function pointer variable. Will you agree? With a type def, can I say it is a function pointer data type? Now, can you understand this function declaration? Can you understand this function declaration? What is the name of the function? What is the name of the function? Signal. How many arguments it is taking? How many arguments it is taking? 2 arguments. What is the first argument name? What is the first argument name? Signum. What is the type? What is the type? Integer. What is the second argument name? Handler. What is the type? What is the type? Function pointer. What is the return type? What is the return type? Function pointer. One surprising thing is this function is taking one function address, returning one function address. This function is taking one function address that will take integer, returns void. It is returning one function address that will take integer, returns void. Think 2 minutes about this declaration. Think 2 minutes about this declaration. Don't worry about what this function will do, sir. Again, don't worry about what this function will do. In future, we are going to discuss such type of things only. In a Linux system programming, such type of things we are going to discuss it. Now, can anybody tell me, if anybody is calling this function, how many arguments they need to pass? Can you tell me, if anybody is calling this function, how many arguments they need to pass? Will you agree? They need to pass 2 arguments. What is the first argument they need to pass? What is the first argument they need to pass? Can I say integer type? What is the second argument they need to pass? What is the second argument they need to pass? Can I say that is a function pointer? Which function address? Which function they need to pass? Which function they need to pass? They need to pass one function address. That function should take 2 arguments. two arguments or one argument? Integer as an argument returns nothing. Integer is an one argument returns nothing. Can you tell me, have you heard about in a microcontroller there is a term called ISR, interrupt service routine? In a microcontroller you might have heard about. In a Linux also we are going to discuss such type of concepts. In a Linux system programming also we are going to discuss such type of concepts. Is it clear? Yesterday I told you one point. System programming means, yesterday I told you one point. System programming means we are going to communicate with, system programming means we are going to communicate with kernel, or better use term called OS now. Because you may not know what is a kernel, so better use OS. Can anybody tell me, in any embedded device, if OS is there, what is the benefit? In any embedded device, if OS is there, what is the benefit? Yes, the benefit is we can do multitasking. Listen, nowadays all the smart devices are coming with inbuilt OS. Nowadays all the smart devices, OS is a manager, resource manager, which will manage the resources, right? If you want to communicate with the OS, you need to know the system programming. That's what our aim in this module. Yes, you need to take the help of system calls. So when you are reaching towards the hardware using the operating system, you should know the concept of function pointer. That's what the discussion from the last session and today's session. All of you are getting why this discussion happening? Will you agree why I am not discussed this in a C module? Because little bit complex declaration, right? In a C, this we are not using. But here in future, there are few places. Yesterday I listed some topics, right? Where we need to use these things. One is in a library concept we need to. There is a concept called dynamic runtime linking. In a C++, is the virtual concept is started? I don't think so. It is not it. In a C++, is the virtual concept is started? No. No problem. You can understand that virtual concept easily once I discuss the library concept. Once I discuss the library concept, you can understand that virtual concept easily. I'll open one more prototype. Okay. Man pthread underscore create. I told you yesterday, multi-threading. Have you observed? Yesterday I told you we are going to learn the multi-threading. Yes. So this is one function. This is one function to create one thread. Again, this is one function to create a thread. All of you are observing the third argument. Is all of you are observing this third argument? D3 is asking where the signals are used. D3, don't worry. Once we started with signals, we'll discuss that. Segmentation fault is also one signal. Floating point exception is also one signal. Operating system generated things. Will you agree? When you are trying to access unauthorized memory, you will get a segmentation fault. That is one signal. When you are trying to divide with 0, That is one signal, floating point exception. When you press Control C, what happens? Can you tell me what happens when you press a Control C? Can I say program gets terminated? But actually that is one signal. There are around 64 signals are there. Few signals we need to talk when we are started with the discussion of the signals. Don't worry. There is a very interesting concepts will be there. Only one thing is, from your side, you should have little bit patience to understand. Signals are nothing but interrupts. Interrupt is a term which is used in a microcontroller or microprocessor. Again, interrupt is a term which is used microcontroller or in a microprocessor. Signals are the terms which are used in a operating system. Both meanings same. Now will you agree? You might have heard about ISR. When interrupt comes, it will my program execution will go to the ISR, interrupt service routine. And have you heard about vectored interrupts and non-vectored interrupts in a microcontroller? In a microcontroller, vectored interrupts and non-vectored interrupts. If no also, don't worry. In 8051 you might have. Is it? BE8 students, 8051 Pramod might have told. Yes. BE9 also they will learn, don't worry. Vectored interrupt means predefined address will be there. Means when that interrupt comes, the program counter will fill with that address automatically. Yes, sir? Vectored interrupt means for every interrupt, some ISR, some address will be there. See, very interesting things we are going to learn in future. In an operating system, we are trying to understand process management, hardware multiprocessing, software multiprocessing. Have you heard about some terms called round robin scheduling policy, FIFO based scheduling policy, priority based scheduling policies? Have you heard these things in a OS concepts? Theoretically, you might have heard. Those things we are going to discuss in this Linux system programming. If you don't heard also, don't worry. If you might have not listened these words also, don't worry. So what I means to say, in a college level, you might have heard, definitely. In a college level, computer science somewhere, some subject, this will be there. Round robin scheduling policy, FIFO based scheduling policy, priority based scheduling policy, SJF, shortest job first scheduling policy. Like this, some policies operating system will follow. We need to discuss all those things. What I means to say you that this module which I am going to teach is very interesting if you focus it. Is it clear? Some theoretical concepts will be there. Some program concepts will be there. Will you agree what I'm saying? Some theoretical concepts will be there. Some program concepts will be there. So many things will be there. So many interesting concepts we are going to discuss. Only one thing is, from your side, little bit patience. If you have any doubt, and previous knowledge, previous concept knowledge is very important. Means C knowledge is very important. Without a C, you can't learn the system programming. Without a C knowledge, you can't learn the system programming. Now observe, pthread underscore create is one function. Pthread underscore create is one function which takes 1, 2, 3, 4 arguments. Will you agree? Which takes 4 arguments. What is the first argument name? What is the first argument name? Thread. What is the type? Pointer to pthread underscore t. Pointer to pthread underscore t. What is this pthread underscore t? What is a pthread underscore t? One new data type. I don't know, you might have observed on that day, I might have told you, when I'm talking about type def, I told you. When you go for the low level programming, you might have observed the new data types. All the new data types are derived from the C types only. All the new data types which are derived from the C data types only. Really? Like that, so many interesting multi-threading, how to create a thread, what is the advantage of the thread, what is the process, difference between the process and thread, multi-threading, how to synchronize the thread using the mutex, mutual exclusive event, semaphores, signals, file handling, IPC mechanisms, so many things we are going to discuss in the future. To understand those, little bit knowledge about the function pointer required. Will you agree? To understand those, little bit knowledge about the function pointers required. That is the reason we are discussing this. All of you got the clarity what is the next, what is the future, what we are going to discuss? If yes, type 1 in the chat box. All of you got the clarity what we are going to in future. All of you know the difference if my embedded device is having an operating system without having an operating system, what happens? If you know that type 2, if my embedded device is having an OS and if my embedded device is not having an OS, what is the difference between these two devices? If you know this type 2. BE8E2 is saying don't know. BE8E2, can you tell me what is the difference between Nokia 1100 and our smartphone BE8E2? BE8E2. Can you tell me what is the difference between Nokia 1100 and nowadays smartphone? Multiprocessing. Nowadays smartphones, will you agree, Android OS is there? Nowadays smartphones, will you agree, Android OS is there? Android means, can I say this is one of the Linux flavor only? Android means, will you agree, this is one of the Linux flavor only? So if you build any embedded device with OS, we can perform a multitasking in that device. Is it clear? BE8E2. Is it? Okay. Now, let's come to the topic. Topic is a little bit diverted. Let's come to the topic. What is the topic? Next is, I hope, function pointer knowledge you got. Next is array of function pointers. With type def, without type def, you want me to explain this? Is it K2? Is this line number 7? BE9 K2? Is it line number 7 you want me to repeat? BE9 M8 is asking, in program we are getting, BE9 M8 is asking, in program we are getting only the sum as an output, but we have to submul. See, now here, instead of a sum, if you write returning a sub, can I say this P holds the subfunction address? P holds the subfunction address. Yes, sir. So then subfunction is called. Then now subfunction is called. Then now subfunction is called. Got the point? For your question, it will be more clear in the next example, BE9 M8. For your question, next discussion is very clear. CP 1608 underscore 1.c 1708 underscore 2.c. BE9 M8, can you tell me, in this pointer, at a time how many addresses I can store? In this pointer, at a time how many function addresses I can store? Can I say at a time only one function address I can store? Will you agree? If I write like this, can I say here P becomes array of function pointers? Here P becomes, P is an array. Will you agree? P is an array. I hope, I don't know you remembered or not, index is the higher priority than the dereference. Will you agree? Index is the higher priority than the dereference. Okay, so can I say P is an array of how many elements? Array of four what? P is an array of four what? 4 pointers. Which pointers? Now can you tell me, if I write like this, can you tell me if I write like this, int star P of 4, can I say P is an array of 4 integer pointers? Will you agree? There P is an array of 4 integer pointers. Here P is an array of four function pointers. Agree, here P is an array of 4 function pointers. In this P of 0, I can store some function address. In this P of 1 subfunction, P of 2 mul function, P of 3 divide function I can store. All of you are getting the point? In this P of 0, I can store some function address. In this P of 1, I can store subfunction address. In this P of 2, I can store mul function address. In this P of 3, I can store divide function address. So how to store? Very simple. P of 0 is equals to sum. P of 1 is equals to sub. P of 2 is equals to mul. P of 3 is equals to divide. P of 0 is equals to sum. P of 1 is equals to sub. P of 2 is equals to mul. P of 3 is equals to divide. Again, P of 0 is equals to sum. P of 1 is equals to sub. P of 2 is equals to mul. P of 3 is equals to divide. Now observe. For m is equals to 0, m is less than 4, m plus plus, printf %d /n star p of I, p of m, I comma j. Star p of m, I comma j. So can I say all functions in this for loop I am calling? All the functions I am calling in this for loop. Sum, sub, mul, divide, every function. Sum, sub, mul, divide, every function. Now tell me, m is 0, which function is called? If m is 0, which function is called? If m is 0, which function is called? Can I say sum function? If m is 1, which function is called? subfunction. If m is 2, mul function. If m is 3, divide function. I don't know you remembered or not. When I started with a switch case, we designed one basic calculator program. If option is 1, we need to add. If option is 2, we need to subtract. If option is 3, we need to multiply. If option is 4, we need to divide. So for that, we can write using if, else if, else if, else if, else. Or I can write a switch case. Able to recollect it? For that calculator program, if option is 1, sum. If option is 2, sub. If option is 3, mul, like this. So then we can simplify that using this array. I'll show you. All these are function address m1. All these are function definitions be9 m1. What the point? These are the function definitions. m9. Please reply once you got the point. If you don't reply it, be9 m1. Not only anybody. If I answer your question, if you got the point, please reply it so that I can move further. Okay. Now observe. I'll display one menu. Printf. Enter the option. 1 for sum, 2 for sub, 3 for mul, 4 for divide. Scanf %d ampersand of op. Okay. Now observe, k is equals to star p of op minus 1 I comma j. Printf k. Very tricky function call, observe. Suppose op is 1, what I need to call? Suppose op is 1, which function I need to call? Sum function, right? 1 minus 1, can you tell me 1 minus 1? 0. Can you tell me what is p of 0? Sum function. Can I say sum function is called? Suppose op is 2. Suppose op is 2. Suppose op is 2. Sub function. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1. Can I say 1? 2 minus 1. Can I say 1? That 1 is a sub function. Here no need to write switch case. Here we no need to write a switch case. Will you agree? Here we no need to write a switch case. Let's take okay. Option is 1, sum function is called. Option is 2, sub function is called. Option is 3, mul function is called. Option is 4, divide function is called. You may get this. Sir, if I give other than 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, for that you can simply write if op, instead of, you can directly print also. If op is greater than or equals to 1 and with OP less than or equals to 4, then only you execute this. Otherwise, display unknown option. All of you are getting the point? If OP is in between 1 to 4, I need to execute this. Other than this, I need to do just simply unknown option. Let me compile the code. Let me compile the code. If I give 5, can I say unknown option? If I give 5, will you agree it is giving you unknown option? If I give 3, can I say it is multiplication? Here we are not used a switch case. We didn't use the switch case. We didn't use else if ladder. Just if and else we used with the help of array of function pointers. With the help of array of function pointers, we are trying to do this. Getting the point? With the help of array of function pointers, we are trying to do this. All of you got the point? All of you got how a variety, different way we are calling the function here? Getting the point? How different way? OP is 1. If OP is 1 means 1 minus 1, 0. P of 0 means some function is called. This is how the array of function pointers. Any doubt is there? You can ask it. Otherwise, we'll wind up the today's session. In a tomorrow's session, we need to talk about the concept called libraries. In a tomorrow's session, we need to talk about the library, static library, dynamic library. There are so many issues we need to discuss theoretically, programmatically also. BE8 K6 is asking one question. Sir, sometimes I confused about return, when it will return 0, when it will return 1, return any value. See, K6, when you need to return 1, when you need to return 0, purely depends upon your specification. Suppose, K6, suppose, try to understand. I ask you to design a function. If my number is a prime, return 1, else return 0. If I ask you to design a function to check a given number is prime or not, if it is a prime, return 1, else return 0. Do you know this? When you need to return 1? As per the specification, can you tell me? When you need to return 1? If the number is K6, are you there? When you need to return 1 as per the specification? Odd or even not, prime or not. I'm talking about prime or not. If number is prime, return 1, else return 0. According to that, you need to design a code. Suppose the specification is saying that if my number is prime, return 0, else return 1. Reverse you need to do. So when you need to return 1, when you need to return 0, when you need to return what, that purely depends upon the specification. Got the point? When you need to return what, that you need to depends upon the specification of the function which you are designing it. D3 is asking one question, BE9 D3. Sir, in most of the main function, see, void main, int main, all those things same. Means can anybody tell me who will call the main? Will you agree? Underscore start. So when you write int main, you might have written int return 1 or return 0. No problem if you return 1 or return 0, it will not affect in your program. I am using void main, so I am not returning anything. Control return, not a value return. Got the point? I'm using void main. Main is having a different prototype, right? Some of the compilers int main will be there. So if it is an int main, you need to return maybe 0, maybe 1, no problem, whatever you return it. But you are designing your own function. You need to worry about when, what should I return. When you are designing your own function, you need to think about when and what should I return as per the specification you decided. I hope all of you are clear with this. Try to go through this program. If any doubts are there, please let me know. Sir, repeat the statement with type def, without type def. Are you talking about this? BE9K2. N is a variable of integer type. With type def, N becomes a data type of integer. BE9K2. You're talking about a previous program. If you're talking about a previous program. Without a type def, FPTR is a function pointer variable. Function pointer variable. Can I say for this 8 bytes are allocated? Because it is a variable, pointer variable. B9K2. Getting the point? With a type def, can you tell me it is a function pointer data type? It is a new data type. Function pointer data type. Getting the point? K2. Now observe, P is a variable of which type? P is a variable of which type? P is a variable of which type? FPTR. What is FPTR? Already type def, function pointer type. I hope now you got little bit more. Without a type def, it is a variable. With a type def, it becomes a data type. Very simple. Without a type def, it is a variable. With a type def, it is a data type. Is it clear? Okay, then try to go through these two programs. I'll share it tomorrow onwards. Little bit interesting concept tomorrow. That is called, what is it tomorrow onwards? We are going to discuss little bit interesting concept tomorrow onwards. It is a library. Can I share this also? Can I share this also? Save. (1708-2021) BE8E2 is saying, in my compiler, if I write void main, it will show error, sir. If I write int main, it will work. Which compiler BE8E2 you are using? That's what, compiler to compiler varies. You are in a position to Ubuntu only. Are you using 32-bit or 64-bit? Maybe, I don't know. Are you using 64-bit? I think. Okay, check it out. No problem. Int main, void main, whatever it is. No, nothing. It will not affect in your program execution. It will not affect in your program execution. I hope all of you might have know that one LMS is created. Is it? All of you know that with your batch, with your things, one LMS is created. In this LMS, already yesterday's things I uploaded. Today also, I'm going to upload it after the class. It's clear. Today's date 17. 08/2021. BE8 A1 regarding what? Mail. Regarding what? That mail. BE8 A1. Regarding what? May I know? CP 17 Okay, I'll check it out. /mnt/d Linux _ 89. Only 2 programs, right? Today? Only 2 programs, right? Yes. Yeah, these 2 programs are also, I'm uploading it. Okay, then I'm going to wind up the today's session. Thank you very much. B9A3 is asking, can you open the lab on Sundays if government granted utilize the lab? Yes, I'll check it out. Because of shortage of lab coordinators, one step back, if government permits, this week onwards, I'll inform it. But you may not get a lab coordinator. Lab coordinators may not be available at that time. If in your PG or somewhere, if your seniors are there, please inform them. There is a lab coordinator vacancy is there in our, if they can send request to Siddiq sir. Again, if you have some seniors and those who are attending the interviews and those who want to attend, join as a lab coordination, please inform them. Old lab coordinators, everyone gets selected in a companies. Is it that notice is clear to everyone? If anybody is there, please inform them to discuss with the Siddiq sir. Instead of sitting in the PG, at least they can come and solve some of the questions in the students so that they can revise the things. Yeah, we'll open the Sunday. We'll check it out. We'll open it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to wind up the today's session. Thank you.